All right, Ms. Breeds. 30 seconds or less, can you just tell us about the science fair?
So Mrs. Heinrich started the Science Carnival back, I think, in like 2009. And we were able to successfully do it for about 10 years, and then COVID hit, and so this is our first year back. We bring in 5th graders from all the major feeder schools, and a lot of our level 2, upper level science classes create little mini demos and experiments, and the kids get to go all around for about an hour or so and try everything out, and it's a great way for these 5th graders to see the academic side of Badin.
Thank you.
Tell us about your science booth. All right, so our science booth is the bed of nails. So what we have is we have a large amount of nails in a flat surface area, and we take balloons and you press it on the nails until it pops. So what we're showing kids is how pressure works, right? So if you take these nails on the balloon, one nail pops easy. But if you have 20 nails, the pressure gets dispersed and it takes a lot longer to pop. All right, that's really cool, man. So, what's it? Tell us about your favorite thing about your science teacher. Just give him a shout out, yeah. I have 2 science teachers. I'm here because Miss Heinrich and Miss Breitz, they're both walking around. I love the science department. They always have great labs, and I think what they teach me genuinely helps. All right, man. And on the count of 3, we gotta say, Badin Science rocks. 1, 2, 3. Badin Science rocks. Come feel these nails. Genuine American steel. Yeah. You're gonna put your balloon on the nails, put this wood on top, and then press down with both hands in the middle. Jump. Jump.
Do I have to pop it?
Dropping like a spike through it.
In under 30 seconds, tell us about your booth.
All right, so my booth is all things magnets. We got a bunch of cool things here that use magnets, a spinner that floats off the ground, washers that float, and then a train that we use a battery and 2 powerful magnets, and it shoots through a copper coil.
Awesome. Okay, and then in 30 seconds, tell us about your favorite science teacher.
Favorite science teacher, definitely Mr. Smith. Really cool guy, knows like everything about everything. So.
Okay, and then on 1, 2, 3, we're gonna say Badin Science rocks.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Badin Science rocks.
Whoa, that's so cool. I've seen that in Yes!
In 30 seconds or less, tell us about your booth.
Okay, so we have the Cartesian diver one, and it's all about air pressure. So as you squeeze the bottle, the air volume decreases and the volume of the water decreases, which makes the bobber sink.
Okay. Who is your favorite science teacher and why?
Mrs. Breitz, and I love that she teaches us lessons outside of the classroom, like things about gratitude and things like that.
Okay, on the count of 3, we say Badin Science rocks. 1, 2, 3.
Badin Science rocks.
Mrs. Breitz.
Hey, I'm with
Reese Anzalon.
in about under 30 seconds, just tell us about your science booth.
Yeah, so my science booth is called Blood Paper. And the blood paper, so it's a litmus paper, and we have a solution where we take a Q-tip in it, we dip the Q-tip in the solution, and then it'll change the paper to like the color blood. And it's because the litmus paper reacts with a base. So our solution is above a 7.0 on the pH scale, so it changes the color.
Okay, thank you. Now just tell us about your favorite science teacher.
Mrs. DeRosa, she's great. She makes our classes really fun. She keeps us engaged, and it's just a good atmosphere.
All right, and on 3, we're going to say Badin Science rocks. All right, so 1, 2, 3.
Badin Science rocks.
Could you tell us about your science booth?
All right, our science booth is the Heartbeat Hangout, and what we do is we make kids jump rope, and then we check their pulses, and yeah, that's what we do.
Okay, tell us about your favorite science teacher.
My favorite science teacher was Mrs. Jones in 6th grade. That's all there is.
Okay, and then on 3, we're gonna say Badin Science rocks. 1, 2, 3. Badin Science rocks.
All right, I'm here with Bryson Fox. In 30 seconds or less, tell me about your booth.
All right, so we have a jar right here, actually, and there's a beaker inside of it. So the goal is to get the penny inside the beaker, but actually, because of light refraction, it's a lot harder to get the penny inside the beaker. And as well, the penny at an angle is going to move around and go slanted towards the edge of the jar. So that's the challenge we are setting up.
Sounds like fun. All right. Now I'm here with P-Ray. P-Ray, who is your science teacher and what is your favorite thing about her?
Our favorite science teacher, me and Bryson, Miss D. We love you, Miss D. Our favorite thing about Miss D is just how energetic she is with her students, and how personable she is with all of us. We love her.
That's great. That's great. Okay, on the count of three, we got to say into the camera, Badin Science Rocks. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Badin Science Rocks!
What's up, Matthew? In under 30 seconds or less, tell us about your science booth.
Okay, so we have two cars. They're built the exact same way. Motors are set to the exact same speed. One runs from a big gear to a small gear, and the other one runs from a small gear to a big gear. The one with a big gear to a small gear runs faster, because each time the big gear turns once, the small gear has to turn like 1.5 times.
Okay.
So it goes faster, even though the motors are set to the same.
Oh, awesome. Okay, and tell us your favorite thing about your favorite science teacher.
I would have to say that my favorite science teacher is Mr. Smith, because I've had him for 3 or 4 classes. Here, I'll send yours really fast.
Intermission.
And my favorite thing is how he explains things so they make sense. A lot of it is very science, like this is all math, but it doesn't feel like math.
Okay, and on 3, we're gonna say Badin Science Rocks. 1, 2, 3. Badin Science Rocks!
And today I'm here with
Ava.
Okay, and can you explain me your booth in 30 seconds or less?
So we have the optical illusions and retinal after imagery booth. So basically we're just letting kids explore different types of optical illusions and exploring how their eyes work and why these optical illusions actually work.
Okay, and then who's your science teacher and what do you like most about her?
I have Mrs. Breitz with AP Bio, and I think she's just a really supportive person in general. That's why I like her.
And then on 3, can we say Badin Science Rocks? 1, 2, 3. Badin Science Rocks.
Oh my God.
In under 30 seconds, tell us about your science booth.
Okay, so you make a bird in a cage, and if you spin it really fast, then the bird is in the cage. And it's your eyes playing tricks on you.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, in under 30 seconds, tell us your favorite thing about your science teacher.
I love Mrs. DeRosa. She is so nice and so sweet, and she is like a second mother to me.
She is. She's amazing.
Yes.
Okay, and on the count of 3, let's say Badin Science Rocks. 1, 2, 3. Badin Science Rocks!
So in 30 seconds or less, tell me about your booth.
So for our booth, we're having the kids draw on different CDs with different patterns and colors to create spinning discs with colors. And then we're talking about kinetic energy and gravity, making them stop.
Okay. Who is your science teacher and what is your favorite thing about her?
My science teacher is Mr. Rosa, and my favorite thing is how enjoyable she makes class and all the different jokes that she tells while she's teaching us important life lessons.
Okay, on the count of 3, we have to say Badin Science Rocks. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Badin Science Rocks. You did a good job.
Today I'm here with
Jacob Favory.
And tell me about your science booth within 30 seconds.
So this is a trebuchet. It's like a catapult, but it has a sling at the end to launch the ball farther. Okay. So with the sling, you get more torque, and the middle piece is called the bevel, and so the weight on the bottom will swing it forward like a lever, and it'll launch farther.
And then, what's your favorite thing about your science teacher, and who is it?
It's Mr. Smith, and I like the random stories he tells our class.
Random stories. All right, and then on the count of 3, let's say Badin Science Rocks.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Badin Science Rocks.
Tell us about your booth.
We have mirrors and you write your name backwards, and then we have something and it makes your brain confused.
Okay, in 30 seconds, tell us about your favorite science teacher.
My favorite science teacher is Miss D. She's just so lovely.
I love her. Okay, and on 3, we're gonna say Badin Science Rocks. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Badin Science Rocks!
In 30 seconds or less, tell us about your booth.
Basically, it's what it is you get these cups and you shoot the air cannons and it knocks them down. And how it works is that the air cannons trap a vortex of air inside that little pocket there with the plastic, and then it all is released at once, and it can shoot like up to like apparently 15 meters. I don't know if that's true or not because none of these kids be getting them down, but you know. And yeah, that's basically all it is.
So what is your favorite thing about your science teacher, and what is her name?
My science teacher's name is Ms. Breitz, and my favorite thing about her is we get to watch a bunch of videos in class, and that kind of helps me a lot to learn and stuff.
All right. On the count of 3, we got to say Badin Science rocks. 1, 2, 3.
Badin Science rocks.
Rollerball.
There you go.
In under 30 seconds, tell us about your science booth.
Yeah, so we are the cell membrane booth, and then we have a straw, and you can lift it up, and you can twist it, and you can go up and down, and just showing that it's very elastic and flexible, and you can even put a straw through it and dip it in, and then put it in the thing, and it doesn't pop. So
that is so cool.
Thank you.
Okay, tell us your favorite thing about your science teacher. Or your favorite thing about your favorite science teacher.
Okay, so Miss D is great. She is just so sweet, and she really just cares about her students, and you can tell.
Okay, and on 3, we're gonna say Badin Science rocks. 1, 2, 3. Badin Science rocks!
So in under 30 seconds, tell us about your science booth.
So these are beads that change color when you put them up to sunlight or UV light because the chemicals in them fluoresce when they're in the light, and so they change color and make really cool bracelets.
Okay, and what's your favorite thing about your science teacher?
My favorite thing about Mrs. Breitz is that she always is in a good mood and makes us feel better.
All right, and then on the count of 3, let's say Badin Science rocks. 1, 2, 3. Badin Science rocks. And tell me about your science booth in under 30 seconds.
So we have the hot and cold biz. So basically this is all about temperature. So it's all about the heat from your body going onto something else, how it makes it change temperatures and how the chemicals inside whatever we have will react to it.
Okay, and then what's your favorite thing about your science teacher and who is it?
Well, I take 2 classes. I take Miss D and Miss Breitz, and basically they're just both really enthusiastic about science. Yeah.
All right, and then on a count of 3, can we do a Badin Science rocks? 1, 2, 3.
Badin Science rocks.
It just turns into a giant blob, and it won't soak into the sand, and it won't mess it up because it just rolls around.
In under 30 seconds, tell us about your booth.
Okay, so we have magic sand and normal sand. Normal sand is hydrophilic, magic sand is hydrophobic. So if I put water on the normal sand, it just soaks in. If I put water on the magic sand, it'll roll around because the water can't interact with the hydrophobic sand.
So cool. Okay. In 30 seconds, tell us about your favorite teacher.
My favorite teacher is probably Miss Gazin.
No, your favorite science teacher. Sorry. Favorite science teacher.
My favorite science teacher is Mrs. D because she's awesome.
Yes, we love her. Okay, and then on 3, we're gonna say Badin Science rocks. 1, 2, 3. Badin Science rocks.
In the box. You should stick your hand in and find out. You want to put your hand in it?
In under 30 seconds, tell us about your booth.
So what you have to do is you have to stick your hands in the box without looking and using just your sense of physical touch. You have to guess what's in the box. And if you guess it right, you get a piece of candy.
Awesome. Okay. And in 30 seconds or less, tell us your favorite thing about your favorite science teacher.
My favorite science teacher is Mrs. Breitz because I've had her for 3 out of my 4 years, and I like her because she's a really good teacher and she really cares about all the students.
Okay, and then in 3, we're gonna go Badin Science rocks.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Badin
Science rocks.
All right, so Ms. Breitz, can you tell us about your favorite part about the Science Carnival?
Well, this year, my favorite part about the Science Carnival is that my oldest son is here right now with Sacred Heart. But what I really like about it is that it's bringing in students from our big feeder schools in 5th grade and getting them to see Badin in a different light, seeing the academic side of things and seeing our upper level science students interact with them and get them excited about the sciences.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Badin Science Rock!